People are not seeing your message. You've got to get it out to them.
You're listening to Reply Talk, a podcast designed to provide actionable marketing strategies and valuable insights around apartment marketing, hosted by Corbin Wright.
What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Reply Talk. Myself, Corbin Wright, founder, CEO of Reply.
Michael Estep, Director of Operations for Reply.
And today we are talking about, let's see here. Your leads aren't unqualified. You're unqualifying yourself.
Tell me what you mean there. I'm honestly, I'm a little confused. I need a little bit more clarification.
So
what I threw this one on.
What I mean, and I'm glad that we didn't talk about this because, what I mean is your leads aren't necessarily always unqualified if they're not leasing, if they're not converting into leads, or not leads into leases.
Sure.
And you might be unqualifying yourself. What I mean by that, going in depth, is that somebody submits their information or they call your community.
Gotcha.
And then they don't, something's broken after that.
Like what?
So the journey. So submit it, and then there's typically an answer. So in today's age, in today's world, instant gratification. So you want things instantly.
Well,
we're used to.
I think what you're kind of touching base on too is I just don't go around submitting my information for apartments. I don't take the time to submit forms just to submit forms.
You don't?
I don't just call your community.
Dude, I spend my Sundays just going and submitting this shit
just to do
forms.
it. Well, no, I mean, let's be honest. If somebody's submitting their information, they've got to be interested, at least a little bit, right? And, at the end of the day, if you do most of the things right, you're going to find out, is it price? Are you in the wrong location? Mm-hmm. Are you not providing, the things that the communities around you are providing at the same price or at a similar price? But where it all starts is I submitted my information, right? So where do we go from there? How do we make sure that process isn't broken from a community level?
So, and one thing that I always do go back to in the beginning is it's your 4 Ps.
Sure.
Product, price, promotion, or people. So if one of those are broken, then it is going to throw things off. But I don't think that's when it comes to a lead generation side of things.
Okay.
One of your Ps is off because you're not getting enough leads. So if you're not getting enough leads, maybe you're outpriced. Maybe you're pricing yourself out of the market. Or maybe your promotion is off. Maybe your people's off. Maybe your marketing team's not doing what they need to do and updating your stuff.
Right.
And then, product. Maybe your product just sucks. Sorry guys, got a dog
in the room.
we are a dog-friendly office, and they're going a little crazy.
Charlie likes to be a little crybaby sometimes.
Man, Charlie's my Yorkie, and he is so bad. He's here to just wreak havoc.
Make our lives miserable. Poor Deborah.
Oh, rest in peace, Deborah. Funny story. Deborah was our head of HR, but she's also a robot vacuum. And Charlie decided to
take a little dump.
Put a little surprise on the floor, and then Deborah decided to smoke it. So just run right through it, and it was bad. So anyways, back to leads. So 4 Ps. Typically, there's the 4 Ps, and
something in that process might be broken.
But in this instant, in this scenario, your leads are unqualified. You're unqualifying yourself. What I mean is you're still getting leads, but they're not converting.
Yeah, and I think let's go into this, right? So who, why, how are you establishing that a lead is unqualified? Right. At what point are they considered unqualified? Mm-hmm. I think a lot of the times what you see is, I've emailed them, I've called them, dead lead, unqualified. Mm-hmm. No. I don't think you have enough information to establish that.
I agree.
Right. And they go into a dead lead list. They don't get touched for 60 days. And
hell, maybe more.
Even longer. But I think at that point, right, you've already kind of taking yourself off the market.
So real quick, I want to stop it. So how, I want to ask a question. Leave a comment below and let us know how many follow-ups or touch points or how long your team has to go before they can actually dead out a lead.
And what's that process look like?
Yeah.
How easy is it to dead a lead? You know, I'm not asking you to call out any community teams or things like that.
Yeah, but we want to know your best practice of your company is, you know, how many times you have to reach out through what channels until it's considered a dead lead.
What channels do you have? I think that's also key, right?
Yeah.
Are you providing an omni-channel experience?
So let's wait. So let's get that one answered. Let's get that one answered.
I wanted to sneak that
and
one
then
in there.
So leave some comments, and then we'll touch on that here in a second,
Sure.
and then see what channels. So something's obviously broken, and they're either not getting a response back. You're getting an email back that doesn't really tell you to do anything, saying, "Hey, thanks for showing interest in our property." You know, people want to be told what to do. But indirectly, they want to be guided, not necessarily told what to do, but when you're inquiring about something, you want to be kind of guided to the next point. So
can you provide me more than one opportunity to do it as well? Do I have to email you back?
Yeah, exactly.
I know I'm jumping into
exactly.
jumping into omnichannel experience again, but you know, if you email me, you know, what are all the opportunities that I have to communicate with your property?
Yeah.
You know, and why are you emailing me to start? Is that your choice or is it my choice? And I think that's one of the things that we're really starting to notice is, why don't you let me choose how I want to be contacted, right? Because if you let me choose, you know, a lot of times, you know, you book a hair appointment, you book an appointment at the dealership, right? A lot of these industries are allowing people to choose their communication, choose their preferred communication, right? I'm going to submit my information, but before I submit it, I want you to text me.
Yeah.
I want you to call me, and guess what? If I choose call, I want to know. I get this with doctor's appointments all the time, dentist appointments. Contact me in the morning.
Yeah.
Contact me in the afternoon between these hours. Contact me in the evening.
Yep.
And I get you got to deal with hours and things of that nature, but providing those options, right?
You're catering.
You're catering the experience. You're creating a little bit more friction, but at the end of the day, a little bit more friction might cause a lot more quality.
I agree. I completely agree. And it does. It comes down to offering options. And I think there's a right place and time for these options too. So you get to the point where, you know, maybe they submitted a form online and maybe they just said they don't have a preference. So
poor Charlie.
Charlie is just
locked out of the zone.
Charlie.
But yeah, no, they may not be ready at that point, but I think, you know, at the end of the day, providing those options is super important, and understanding when to provide those options is also super important.
So there's a right time and place for text messages. You know, I might not necessarily, maybe, you know, I kind of do like texting somebody back and forth to be able to get more information because I'm able to check my phone and respond back and forth. Emails, I get 1,000 emails a day, and I don't like checking emails. Shout out to all the people that I've worked with before. I'm sorry if I've never answered some of your emails, but
it was like the first thing for anybody that doesn't know, Corbin will literally never respond to an email unless I make him. So when I first came on, one of the biggest things, or one of our first customers was, can you just get him to respond to emails? Please, can you get him to respond? We call him no reply, not reply, because he literally will never respond to emails. So my goal in the first 30, 60 days, welcome back, was to get him to respond to as many emails as possible. Just pick him up. All right, everybody meet Charlie.
This is Charles. He is he's something else.
He's a little crybaby. But yeah, so, you know, it's all about providing the experience or the communication channel that I'm looking for.
Yeah.
You know?
Completely agree.
If you send me 4 emails about your property after I submit a form, and how do you know that I check my email?
Exactly.
Right? Because what do most forms ask for? First name, last name, phone number, email, submit. I'm putting my email because I have to, not because I want to.
Yep.
Right? It's not big, and a lot of times some of those things are on autofill. Right?
You get an old email.
Sure, you're getting an old email, or regardless, old email, new email. You don't know where that email is going to go. Is it go to the what are all? There's like 5 different tags for inboxes now.
Oh yeah,
focus.
If you got Gmail going
other, junk.
Yeah.
You never know where that thing's going to go. You know where I know a text message is going to go? Straight into your phone.
Right in your hand.
Right? And I think that's a huge selling opportunity from the jump, too.
Yeah.
Is if I'm texting you back and forth, it's very easy, you know, as a salesperson.
Absolutely.
Hey, when you become a resident of ours, I want you to save this number.
Yeah.
Because this is how we communicate when you become a resident.
Yep.
This is how you're going to find out about all the resident events and local things that we do for the community, all those things. It's just another selling feature, but not everybody prefers text. Some people prefer a phone call.
And I think there's a right place and time, but it all comes back to what is your preference, and then having that omni correspondence experience to where you make it seamless. You're able to cater to what they choose.
Yeah.
And you're able to see it and understand that that's the way that they want to communicate. And really, when it comes down to the most important information, and really, it's important. People want to move. Like they're ready to move. That's an important thing. So what we've seen through our data in the response rates and the leasing velocity that happens when we integrate text messaging. I'm so passionate about text messaging just because it works and it's there in the data. But like, people want to buy. They want to lease. They want you to communicate with them, and they'll do that through text messaging because they do it every single day, and it's important to them.
Yeah, it's funny. We were talking about this the other day. I'm on my lunch break, right? And I just so happen to be scrolling through the internet. I'm looking for a new place to live. And I submit a form, right? And I get an email, 5 minutes later. Mm-hmm. I happen to miss it, right? So if my only other opportunity to reach you as a leasing consultant is to call you, what if you call me just after I get back from lunch?
Your work, man.
Right? How many phone calls do you answer while you're at work? Unless it's a customer, a coworker, or somebody that you expect to get a phone call from, you're not going to respond, right? But what does everybody find time to do at work? Text back and forth, Instagram, Facebook, right? That's the kind of visibility, and that's the kind of exposure.
All the mobile stuff.
That's the kind of exposure that you're missing out on if you're not only from a digital advertising perspective, but from a communication perspective. I sure as hell can find a way to text you back and get away with a text back.
Absolutely.
Over a phone call, right? And you may be able to take personal calls at work. I'm not saying nobody's allowed to talk on the phone at work.
Yeah, but you're
much less likely to.
Absolutely.
Especially if it's about, something personal, right? Having that personal conversation over the phone. You may not want to do that at work. You may not want to step out for that. It may not be easy for you to step out and take that, but it's real easy for you to text back.
For sure.
We're not here selling texting, right? It's just the importance of
having it all.
And providing all of those experiences. And you may be doing that right now, but are you looking into the data and the metrics behind it? Are you setting up the right automation behind it?
And understanding what your segmentation is and what what it kind of sways to. Sure. And is your community more of a texting community? Do people prefer that channel over the other? Just knowing that data gives you more insight into how to market better too.
Sure.
So it's not just about like, we don't really care about how our residents communicate because we're going to communicate to them anyway, however we want to. But it really comes down to like, when you can see this data and you can understand how many people actually are engaged in your messaging and they're seeing it, and even with like resident events,
right.
Like you wonder why your resident events might be lacking is because people are not seeing your message. You've got to get it out to them. Right. An email or like, door flyers. Like I was in operations. It took forever to get those door flyers out. Like it's crazy that people
still use those.
They do. It is crazy. Print them out, walk around.
Put them on the elevators.
Yeah, put them on the elevators. But it's just, and maybe you still do that too to a certain extent.
Sure.
But it all comes down to getting people to see your message, having all of these different channels.
I think it's psychological too, right? If I miss a phone call, right, chances of me listening to a voicemail, good luck, right? And if I miss that email, if it goes to the wrong inbox, never going to see it, right? But if I'm providing all of those experiences, if I'm providing that and text or any of the other, omni-channel experiences we've discussed, I think if I read a text message, a lot of people, psychologically speaking, they can't have that little red notification at the top of their text inbox, right?
True.
A lot of people can ignore the email, or they just delete all for their emails. It's really difficult to kind of delete
so
all.
So I want to take a poll. Just say like yes in the comments if you have more than 10
missed text messages.
I'm the outlier because I'm just really
like hundreds.
Yeah, I've got quite a few on mine.
I'm not bad with text messages. I think my biggest struggle is like voicemails and email. Like I can skip through emails. Like I've got like that, read the title.
Yeah.
Read like part of the body set up on mine. So like if I see it,
if it's not my work email, I'm not checking it.
Boom, boom.
I'm only checking my Gmail and stuff
But when that text message comes through, it's like, oh, what's this?
Yeah.
What's this? I don't think I have any more than 15 to 20 at any given time, and that's if travel, something like that.
But I also think that text message searching is even better than email searching. Like if I'm in my phone and I'm like, so this happened to me the other day. It was edible arrangements. And
Valentine's Day is coming.
No, so it was edible arrangements, and I was I was thinking about sending junker because I always send them edible arrangements just to mess with them.
Into too much detail.
And the reason why I searched my inbox and I found the text message, and it was in a matter of seconds. Like I knew that if I went and tried to search, I have it in my Gmail too. But if I went to go over there, I'm going to have to search through mountains and mountains of emails.
Yeah, and then you think about like all the different emails that they have, right? It's support@whatevercompany.com. It's support at this, and
so here's another
sales
thing. Yes.
at this, right? So it'll take you, even if you search well enough in your inbox, it could take you 10 minutes if you really want to look at all that to really find it. But that search through text, how long will it take you? Seconds.
So let's switch gears a little bit. So we've talked about the omni-channel correspondence, communication, like how important it is.
And I think one last thing I want to say, sorry, before we flip over is we don't want to say that you're not making the right efforts, right? You're not making the best efforts that you possibly can, right? But if you aren't making some of the efforts that we discussed, it's at least worth a shot. And there's plenty of companies, including ours, that offer free trials, right? And most of us are more than happy to provide you the statistics and the analytics and some of the research, right? So reach out to some of these companies, see who's willing to give you a 30, 45-day trial so you can try it. Let it
try it before you buy it. Like
try it.
It works. Like I will give anybody
yourself
30, 45 day trial of Connect just to show you that it works. Like
we're not the only ones. There's plenty out there. But at the end of the day, try to find an avenue. Try to pursue all the avenues, right?
So what's the sole reason why I started this company? What did we start out as?
Text messaging.
Correspondence. Just text messaging.
Yeah.
So, and I was in the nightclub bar industry for 10 years before I got into multifamily, and I'll make this. Great times. But I'll make this story fairly quick. So, we needed to fill these bars and restaurants, and we had 4 in Columbus, Ohio.
Yep.
And they were all on Park Street, and they were big clubs and bars. And this is back when we were younger, and
good old days.
21, 22, out of college. And I did the marketing for them. And it was old school. Like we had girls walking around with clipboards, and they were going and collecting email addresses. And
even the door guys.
Yeah, even the door guys were like, everybody's collecting email addresses. And I was like, this is crazy. Like, I can't tell you that the last time I checked an email that wasn't for school.
Right.
And I guess I wasn't into the full on corporate world yet.
Yeah, but nobody was. A very small percentage of our target market
exactly
at those venues were searching their inbox, their email inbox at that time.
It was all, our target demographic was
Mr. Revolutionary over here.
So no, but the thing is, I was like, there's got to be something better than this. And text messaging it was like the Wild West of text messaging. You could literally send out hundreds of thousands of text messages. There was like club texting. Yep. But I knew that wasn't going to do it. It had to be personal.
Sure.
So you have to get on a personal level. You only get so much with sending automated messages or like blasting messages out. Like that shit doesn't work.
Right.
it works for a very small percentage. You look at email marketing and like look at the conversion rates on email marketing and even the open rates. Like it's very small, and it's like you're throwing out this huge lasso hoping that you get a couple. But when you personalize it, it's all personal. And when you get on a personal level, it works. So I had a guy that I hired off of Craigslist.
I love this story.
Brought him in. His name was Dwayne. I'm still friends with him. He's a great guy. He's actually, I don't know if he's in Columbus still.
Yeah.
But so I had him come in, and all I did was have him sit on a computer in the back, and he would send out mass text messages, but they were personalized. And it was like, hey, great seeing you last weekend. Would you like to come and join us at Park Street for a free happy hour?
Right.
And we would get these messages back, and they'd be like, hell with you. No, screw you. Blocked. And he would sit on the back end, and he'd say, like a joke, he'd be like, no, screw you. Do you want a party? And people loved it. Yeah. Like, people were engaged because they didn't expect it to actually be someone.
Right. Nobody expects somebody to be sitting there. And, it may not be the easiest thing at a community level to sit there and text back and forth to every single prospect coming through, but I don't want to say promise, but
I promise you because I did it.
I promise you that if you dedicate a small portion of your time, maybe split between team members, to personalize and to text these people back, so provide them the first things first, right? Let them tell you they want to be texted.
Yeah. Right.
And then surprise them, right? Because everybody's used to chat bots now and this, this chat bot thing that we've got going on. And it's been popular for a little while, right? But you can still tell.
I like chat bots.
Chat bots work. They do, right? But you can still tell.
Yeah.
I can tell. You can tell. We all can tell at the end of the day.
They deliver me a certain level of information that I need immediately in some cases. But
when you're making this kind of a decision.
Yeah, when you're choosing your home, like you're this is a big deal.
Sure.
Like, especially you got a family and you got kids, and like you really don't want to just go out on a whim, or you're gonna
send me a picture.
Yeah.
Send me a video.
So there still has to be this level of personalization for it to work, and that's why Reply started.
Sure.
And I took this idea, and when I went to multifamily and I was in operations, shout out to Pip. Pip let me start out with text messaging, and it worked. We were in.
Pip was probably like, "This better work."
Yeah, he did. He was like,
"This better work."
He did, because all I did was hound him. I was like, "Pip, come on, man.
Let me try it. Let
me try it out." And he ended up letting me do it. And it worked.
Look how that turned out.
It worked out great. Yeah. So
you guys were like,
we were at 87% going through a full renovation, like full scope renovation, blowing everything out, doing the whole 9 yards. We dropped down to I didn't know a thing about multifamily. Like, I got in this industry and
don't say that.
Yeah, I know, but I did
learn quick.
I did learn quick, but it's like anything else.
That's something completely different that we could talk about, right? Is applying other technologies or other things that work from different industries. And I think that's one of the things that I love to do, right? Because I wasn't born and bred in this industry.
No.
I'm not from this industry, but one of the things that I've done is I've ingrained myself in this industry. And, I often look for things that are working in other industries.
Yeah.
And seeing how I can apply that technology and I can apply those efforts into this industry.
Yeah.
Right. Because there's that age old thing that everybody says about multifamily, technology specific, so far behind. And it's not like that anymore. People are willing to jump on new technology. And once all the new technology is allowed to come in and it's easy to function with some of the other things that are going on, you're going to start to see a big shift. But applying things that work in other industries is something that can be super beneficial, and I know a lot of that's coming in now, but it wasn't in the past. So I think that's a whole nother conversation we can have.
I agree.
Too much,
but at the end of the day, you're right. They've got to be open to change. You've got to be open to change. There's going to be other things out there. There's so many different products out there, and it doesn't mean you have to go with property management software, but it does need to integrate. So it comes down to a tracking level, and it comes down to that omni-channel experience of delivering all of the right content at the right times.
Right.
But things aren't going to change unless we start opening our mind and pulling things out from different industries. And it just so happened what worked for me in the the nightclub bar industry, it works well in this industry. And
there's certain things that are applicable across all industries, right? And, maybe not all, but most. And those efforts need to be pursued or need to be given their fair shot. And obviously, text messaging is being used in the industry, right? Whether it be two-way chat between resident and leasing team. What we don't see a lot of yet that I'm sure we will see is prospect to community communication. A lot of that's done by bots and things of that nature at the moment. But I think there'll be quite a strong effort put forth towards that, as long as you have the manpower, or the woman power, or the people power. But as long as you're able to provide that experience, right? You don't want to do it the wrong way, right? You don't want people texting in and not getting a response, right? So another thing that we continue to talk about is the basics and the essentials, right? Setting that platform up for your success. So if you know that you can't provide that experience, right, that your prospect,
just let them know. People just want to know.
Sure. And, maybe that's done in the beginning, right? So from, until we get in at 10 a.m. and we have a morning meeting from 10 to 10:30, that we don't start two-way chatting with our customers until 11 a.m., right? But we set up the right automated responses to deliver them the journey.
It's all about expectation.
Sure. Set the right expectation and deliver them the right experience, right? So they're not feeling like they're being missed out on, and you're not missing any potential hot leads.
For sure. Cool. Well, so I think that covers it. Like you've got
covered a lot.
You've got, we just talked a lot, but
probably put some people to sleep.
Yeah. You've got two things. It's like you could be unqualifying your leads by not following up in the right way. Something's broken.
Truly understand your renter.
Yeah.
Truly understand who you've got coming in. And even if you don't know who you've got coming in, then you'd better be offering them those experiences.
Build the trust right off the bat. If something's broken,
tell the story.
Yep. All the things. So after this, we will post an image of different ways that you can correspond with your residents and your prospects, and kind of how that omni-channel experience works. But let us know what you guys are doing. What's working for you? Are you guys doing all? Are you texting from your phones? Like what's going on? Are you? We want to know. Do you have the software? If you have the software, great. What do you like about it? What do you not like about it? What do you think that your software could do better? What are you using? How can it be better? Right? Because you're not going to get any better if you're not providing the feedback. And I think that's one thing that we tell a lot of our customers. It's like, hey, tell us. I want to know. Right? You use it every day. You see it every day. Tell me what's not working. Tell me how we can make it work for you. And I think if you're providing that feedback to your vendor and you have that type of relationship with your vendor where they take that kind of criticism, it's constructive, right? It is. Let them know how they can be better. Most of us are very mobile in what we're able to do, right? We can make those changes rather quickly, right? And we can personalize that experience to your community or your company. Yep. But if we don't know, if you don't let us know, so that's why, a big thing for us in what we do with this podcast is going to be getting feedback, answering questions. We want to hear from people. So let us know, leave a comment. Let us know, give us the feedback. Cool. All right, guys. Well, we're going to wrap this up. If you can, leave a 5-star on 5-star on, what is it? iTunes, Google, all the things. Spotify. And if you have any questions, if you want to learn more about what we do, we're multifamily, all things multifamily marketing, custom software, and we do managed services. So we have an agency in-house that handles all of our managed services, and then we do create custom software, marketing software for the multifamily industry that integrates with all the stuff that y'all are doing and using. So visit us at www.reply360.com. That is www.repli360.com. Thanks, guys. Thank you.